First video is always kind of weird. I really know how to start. This is gonna be like a TCG channel, and a year ago I would have probably said it's gonna be a Yu-Gi-Oh channel, but I've been kind of like looking to other games, like Magic, more specifically EDH, and more recently Modern, I guess. So it's just gonna be like a card game channel. I'm gonna be talking about things that I like about card games, mostly card theory. So it's gonna be deck profiles, deck analysis, card discussions, and just gonna be like a vlog. I don't know, this is my first time recording from this webcam on my new computer. It's kind of weird. I had a Windows, and now I have a Mac, and just like the webcam is just like huge. It's really weird, but anyways, I'm not really interested in, I guess, creating a persona for myself like a lot of YouTubers do. I decided a while ago that if I made a YouTube channel, because I've been wanting to do this for like a really long time, that I would make it this like little kind of personal like vloggy type thing. So I didn't really feel like I needed to construct a persona for myself. But anyways, today we're gonna be profiling monarchs, and in like a few moments before I start talking about why I picked up this deck, mainly because it's budget, and I wouldn't necessarily say that I'm a budget player. It's just that I don't really like investing in like a top tier deck unless I'm trying to get my invite, or unless I'm going to nationals, or like a YCS. But I live in Montreal, so we have like one YCS a year in the form of Toronto. And I don't really have time to travel to American events, and I don't have time to travel to like regionals. So even though they're like in my city, it's crazy busy. But I do have enough time to do these vlogs, I guess. But the main reason why I picked up Monarchs is because I enjoy the playstyle, I guess, of degenerate control decks, and my all-time favorite deck is hands down spellbooks. And playing Monarchs kind of remind me of spellbooks, and like people like Rob Boyachin have compared it to spellbooks, which makes me really happy because it's like, yes, like it's validated. So we're gonna get into it. Next video is probably gonna be talking about the winner of YCS. No, not the winner of YCS Dallas. The third place Monarch YCS Dallas list. Because there are a lot of things going on in that list that I like a lot. But anyways, so first time with this webcam, I'm just trying to get it like nice and centered. There we go. Okay. Sorry about that, guys. It's gonna get better, I swear, in like a while. But anyways, okay. There we go. This is a good angle, I guess. Anyways, I'm gonna use this. I promise. Like next video is gonna be way better. Anyways. So starting off for the Monarchs, playing 3 copies of Erebus and Ether. 3 Ether is pretty obvious. Erebus is a card that most people play 3 of. Some people play 2. I saw a build that even played 1. And I understand that it is recyclable, but I guess I very much want to focus my list around these 2 cards, because I just feel like if I resolve these cards enough times, I'm just going to win, because they're really, really good. It's kind of absurd how good they are. And you just really want to see like that first copy of Erebus, especially. And even like the 3rd copy comes up sometimes. But mainly you want 2, because like you can loop him with escalation and return. And you can loop your opponent's hand. You can take like 3 cards out of it with this cool little card interaction that I'm going to show you guys. But yeah, so that's that. And then, I just feel like, yeah, so I just feel like if I resolve these cards enough times, I'm just going to eventually win, because they're really good. And then the only other Monarch that I played just 3 copies of Karaz. There are there are a lot of reasons for this. Mainly one of the reasons that you always want to have one left in deck to summon with Ether during your opponent's turn, so you can keep like disrupting them. But also because I did test like Mega Thessalos and stuff, and I just felt like there's a very marginal difference between Karaz and Thessalos to the point where these Monarchs are just going to do most of the work anyways. The one thing that I like about Karaz is that he's like a bad Valk in the sense that he can help you cycle through your cards, and he can help like I feel like Monarchs is just a counter deck where if it reaches this like game state, it's very hard for it to lose, and I feel like Karaz just helps you get to that by just like cycling through cards and just like drawing cards. It's like one of your best plays going first, because like Ether going first is not that good. You would rather go Karaz to draw cards like Erebus to like shuffle their hand, but yeah, Karaz is just one of it's a card that I like drawing, and it's a card that I want to have in deck to summon with Ether, and I think a lot of what this deck comes down to is ratios, and personally 10 to 11 Monarchs has worked really well for me. I play Foolish as like a 10th Monarch, kind of, so yeah. Anyways, so that's for the Monarchs, and well, there's the Foolish later, of course, but then I'm playing 3 Edea and 3 Eidos. This is a pretty standard ratio. I'm not playing Mithra because I don't know. I tested it and it was just always kind of just sitting in my hand, not really doing anything. So, anyways, a couple people play only 2 Eidos, and I guess the logic behind 3 is that you always want to have some left in deck to keep something with Edea, because drawing Eidos is not nearly as bad as having dead Edeas, and he's actually kind of okay to draw, so he can like just enable some of your hands really nicely. I ended up playing 3 Maxies. There are like a lot of reasons for this, I guess. Mainly that it's kind of like an Upstart Goblin, but you want to go second with this deck, and so this can be like an Upstart that can draw you more cards, or it can stop them from making big fields, so which makes it just like even easier for you to just get over them. But if you have like a bad hand, like if you brick, you can like set up a scenario where you have Prime Engrave with a Monarch Spell Trap Engrave and a Stormforth set. So you can set up a scenario where if you maxi them and you draw into the Ether, you'll be able to summon it and survive. Which is something that has come up in testing quite a few times. And it's also just very good even if you don't brick, because you can just maxi them, and then at any point throughout their combo, you can just stop them with Ether and Karaz. So you have like that kind of value, and I guess just disruptiveness. And another point, I guess, of just focusing on Karaz is that it turns Ether into like a defensive card. So just like maximizing Karaz not only ensures that you're going to be able to like cycle through your cards and just like draw into your key pieces, but it also means that you'll be able to trigger like return to search Ether, and then pop with Karaz to draw 1 by making it chain link 2. And just stuff like that. It basically turns Ether into like a defensive card, and that's why I don't play Veiler or Ghost Ogre, just because like Ether is the only real disruption you need. It's built in. So then I play 3 Pantheism, 3 Tenacity, 3 Domain, 3 Stormforth. This is pretty established, but a lot of people started saying, "Oh, Pippa's dead. You don't need an extra deck." First of all, I think it's really ballsy to like just assume that a deck is dead because it got hit on the ban list. And I don't know, like if you say that, you have like, that's a really bold statement. But anyways, in going to like an unestablished format, I find it just much safer to just play 3 of this card because like let's not forget that instant fusion is still at 3, um, and it's just very real. And just like locking out any deck from like Norden is really powerful in of itself. So so this card is still really good. And I mean you want to be able to search off of Pantheism because it lowers levels. It lowers levels, and that means that you can just Stormforth over something rather than summoning your Edea to get a Baylord. And that's something that the guy who got third at Dallas pointed out, is that you want to be like conservative with them. To like play, you want to be conservative with your squires because you want to like not get screwed by Baylor, and these cards just kind of help you do that. Then I also play 3 copies of Return. This kind of goes with the Karaz, I guess, in the sense that you can tribute the, you can like summon Karaz, and then you can make you can make him Channeling 1 targeting this and like another card, and then you can make this Channeling 2. Then you can search Ether, you can pop this, draw 2 cards. Then you have a Monarch Spell Trap engraved for Ether. And there are just like some situations where you want to be able to search this off of Pantheism. And just beyond that, you can just send it with Ether and Erebus. You can pitch it with Pantheism. You can pitch it with Erebus. You can just pop with Karaz. So I mean, the 3 copies have been working out actually just pretty well for me, surprisingly. But anyways, then I play 1/1 in Rhoda. I really hate these cards, but you kind of need them to get out of your brick hands sometimes. It's also important in the mirror match because usually whoever sees those squires first is going to just end up winning. But my biggest problem with 1/1 is that you are going to get hands where you just have 1/1 and like Ether, and you have like nothing else going for you, and it just makes your hand a lot more awkward than if it was like a Rhoda, or I guess even like a Reinforced Truth. But Reinforced Truth is really slow because it's a trap. But I mean, I guess Maxi is kind of like a point of main decking 1/1 in the sense that there aren't really any monsters that you want to pitch with this card, but Maxi is one of them, and you want to pitch Erebus with this, and that's basically about it. So I guess main decking Maxi made it more of a point to where I had monsters that I could pitch for 1/1 without really having to pitch key combo pieces. And also, I guess it can lead to some very explosive turns, to say the least. But anyways, so that's that. And then the Foolish is like the 10th Monarch, but it can also just like Foolish the Eidos and whatever. You guys know what this card does. I really like it in Monarchs. I think it's really good. Then I played 3 Prime and Escalation. I was really happy that the guy from Dallas played these cards. I played like this ratio. But anyways, I personally like 3 Prime a lot because there are some situations where you're gonna Pantheism and then you're gonna have a second one, and so you can banish the Pantheism to search 3 primes. Then you can pitch it again to draw 2, and then that can sometimes just make your hands really live. And I just feel like in this deck you want to have as many playable hands as possible. And I feel like 3 Prime definitely contributes to that. Also, your like ideal setup is having 2 copies of this card in your grave. Then you want to have 1 left in deck to shuffle your Monarch Spell Traps back in to keep fueling Erebus and Ether, because late game you are not going to have enough Monarch Spell Traps to keep fueling them, and you're definitely going to want to like recycle them, I guess. Escalation just kind of leads you to some really good turns. Like it leads to some just really strong interactions where you can go just like Erebus, like if you have Return up, you can just go Erebus, like you know, like Eidos, banish like edit Eidos, trigger them for Erebus, shuffle something, search the second Erebus, shuffle again, and then off of like a Pantheism that you send, you can search this with like a Tenacity or something. Then you can set it, and then during their turn, you can add this back to your hand. Then sack them again. Then you've looped them like for a 3rd card, and then you can search Ether, and then you can like disrupt them, which is actually just a really strong play progression that can lead you to just winning because you just went plus like man, I think you plus a lot off of that play. Just like shuffling non-targeting is just a very strong mechanic, I guess. Anyways, I said 3 Landra, and again, the guy from Dallas cited this card. I was really happy. But anyways, I just kind of like echo what he said about it, I guess, is that like it gets over Focking, gets over Nappies, gets over Darklaw. It basically gets over all the flanking monsters that your engine can't handle, because like your engine can handle like Banny Speed and like Magic Speed pretty well. And this card just kind of deals with like everything else. When you side this in though, because it is a vassal, and one of the bad hands you can get in this deck is just having like too many vassals. And in this kind of deck that can brick easily, it's kind of like Spellbooks. You want to like keep your ratios as even as possible post side. There's another Ada somewhere that I forgot. Yeah, there it is. So you're playing, I guess, 8 vassals in the main deck. And so post side, you ideally still want to have 8. So what you do is you side 3 of them out for 3 of them in. Because he can add Ada back to your hand. So in that sense, he can like kind of make up for the Ados. So you definitely just want to make sure that you keep your ratios as even as possible, because otherwise that can lead to breaking. That's like how you side in Yu-Gi-Oh. You don't want to like compromise your deck's consistency, I guess. I said 3 Veilers mainly for the mirror match. Just had like 3 maxis for 3 Veilers. Veilering the Edea is just like really, really powerful. And even going Veiler on the Erebus to stop him from shuffling your own Edea or Eidos back into your deck is really, really relevant. Of course, you can just use it on like Ether as well. So it's like a pseudo out to Focking, because you can just like Veiler the Focking during their turn and then like go Ether or something. So yeah, this is mainly for that, and then probably also for Mermails, because it's pretty okay against them, I guess. But anyways, then I said 3 space. I don't own copies of Twin Twister, because again, like I really just like made this deck like out of the cards that I already have, and I think I don't know, I like to think I did a pretty good job, but I do intend to pick up Twin Twister soon, because like that card is kind of just like too good not to have. I guess it's probably like a staple in like your collection if you're competitive, I guess. The only plus to this is that you don't have to pitch, which can be relevant sometimes, I guess. But objectively, I should be siding like at least two copies of Twin Twister. Anyways, then play March. Mainly deciding against like BAs and stuff like that. Basically against trap decks that can't really handle your monsters outside of like trap cards. So this card just kind of just makes you win, because you can just kind of not care about their backer and just keep pushing. I also had 3 Decree against Rogues. This should also be like, at least 2 of these should be Twin Twisters, but anyways. Decree just gives you some auto wins against trap decks, so I guess it's good in that sense. Like, it's fine for like a locals where the meta might be like a little bit random. So like, I don't know, if you're playing against like Blackwings or some shit, you can just set this in against them. I'm not sure if it's really good against Phantom Knights, because they have Break Sword, so they can easily out it. But anyways, if you're on for game, I guess it's fine. Probably my favorite card in the side deck is Scolding. Mainly because you can just do like so much with it. Like, it protects you from Twin Twisters. Again, against some decks, you definitely just want to play the like protect domain setup and then win game. And this card just helps you protect that as well. It's a very versatile card in the sense that you can use it offensively, you can use it defensively as well. And I know that the guy who got 3rd at Dallas played Strike instead, and that's something that I want to talk about in another video, because I personally think that the Strike works just very well in his build specifically, but not so in this build, I guess. And I definitely just want to elaborate on that in a separate video, because I think there's definitely a lot to unpack from his build. But yeah, so that was first video. I really hope you guys liked it. It's pretty long, because I like talking a lot. I don't really believe in doing short videos. I'll probably put a link to the DN version of the deck list if you guys just don't want to listen to me ramble a lot. Unfortunately, I enjoy rambling, so I think that I might just end up rambling a lot in a lot of my videos. But anyways, the last thing that I want to talk about is the fiends in Monarch and why I don't like them. I don't like the fiends. First of all, I don't like Bandy's Fiend because it's not a combo piece. Like, you can't search it. You have to like straight draw it, which can be really. I just think that's awkward. Especially because you already have like a card that stops them from spell summoning that's part of your engine, which is like Domain, I guess. Also, Bandy's Fiend is just really easy for like water it out. They just go like Octopus, send something, pop it. It's easy for Cosmo out because they just go Good Witch, pop it. Like, of course, it's harder for Pepe to out, but you already kind of auto win against Pepe just like going Domain. So, and I also don't like Majesty's Fiend because the big reason why I don't like either of those cards is that they just slow the game down for both players. I think that's a little too fair because what you want to do in Yu-Gi-Oh is you want to like slow the game down for your opponent, but not for yourself. And I just feel like Monarch is a deck that if it just focuses on advancing its own game state, it's just gonna win because it's like that kind of. It's just like that kind of deck. If it just does its own thing, it's probably just gonna win. Anyways, so that's it for now. I'll probably upload this pretty soon. And then in the next video, I'm going to talk about the guy who got third at Dallas. I'll be posting his profile in the description, I guess, or something. But I think he had a very good list. So hopefully this leads to a lot more videos to come because I think that I enjoy this. And I hope you guys enjoyed the lengthy discussion, I guess. I guess I could try to cut down on it a little bit for future videos. Anyways, again, I would really like some feedback as to how to tailor these videos, I guess. But definitely just let me know, and I will keep in touch with you guys. So.